Good evening, everybody. Yes, it's evening time. It's very nightfall to talk about Tales of Wedding Rings because, again, 7 episodes and we're finally getting to the climax of this montage that is Hime and Sato's training montage going on here. Now, here's the thing, though. The reason I'm covering this at night is because there's this one thing I learned from this episode is that darkness consumes all. Darkness brings out the ugliness in you. Darkness brings out the lustfulness in you. Darkness consumes the light. We hear that a lot when it comes to it. The darkness always consumes us all. You know, look at the movie Darkness Falls. Or anything involved with darkness, like Kingdom Hearts. You know how Kingdom Hearts, the heartless and whatever consumes the heart inside of you, bring out the evil, the ugliness of what Kingdom of Heartless is. That's kind of vibe thing going on. Kind of like Sora, and then your heartless form is Roxas. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going on here. So, you know, it's crazy because 7 episodes and we finally got from the opening and from the cover, we finally get to see the dark side of stuff. Like, in the words of Star Wars, come over to the dark side. You know, that's what we got. And now, this is everything we anticipated. And, you know, leaving for Sato to leave. This is what happens when you leave a girl hanging. When you leave your number one girl of your choice hanging, you're bound to see some flaws. Consequences for your own actions, or consequences for what the choices you've done. This is not to a point where you're like, oh my God, this is going to be epic. And like I said, covering this episode up to beyond, we're going to see a lot of this, if you know what I mean. So without further ado, let's get right to it with episode 7 of Tales of the Wedding Rings. And yes, I'm recording this show at night because this is about the dark side. Okay, now, I get it now. Let me start with a big old exposition. I didn't really cover this when it first aired because I was at work. Came watch it during my break, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just come here into my room and just talk about this show. This episode that was lingering down the effect of it. Okay, first off, let's talk about Sato for a bit. Sato, you know, you gotta give props for his leadership role in this. I think his role as a Ring King has a big responsibility on his shoulder. I mean, you left Hime hanging, you left Nefertiti's hanging, you had Granite hanging, you know, and Morion, just to train yourself as being a leader of the Ring King. Sato's leader as Ring King, he doesn't really get that effect going on. So, in order to achieve, he has to get the weapon. He needs a weapon. He needs a sword. I mean, you can't go to another world and not have a weapon of your own. I mean, that's kind of like one of those isekai vibes. When you are sent to another world, you gotta have a weapon, a skill. The only skill Sato has, ever since season 1, was that he has the power of the Ring King, and he got 5 wives on the side. Plus, if you count Morion, Hime's sister, that'd give you a round of applause for 6. So, he got to train, and he's training, you know. His training is, I gotta be honest with you, his training didn't really move much as leadership material. I mean, Sato is bearing the Ring King responsibility, but he don't want to be the Dark Ring King. He don't want to be the Ring King that we know how he was in season 2, how he just come with overpowering stuff and just literally just using the sword, just lingering on power and lust. He doesn't want that. So he's trying to be a good leader, being responsibility, making up for your own actions, teamwork, trust, loyalty, everything that you need to know when it comes to leader. So him facing these golems and leave it to Amber to control, leave it to Amber to make sure everything's fine. They have to go down to this underground path with all these secret weapons. And leave it to Sapphire to be transformed into like a giant water leviathan, and just stall the guards for time. That's the only thing we've seen. That's the only thing we've seen from Sapphire at this moment. But as we go down, there's a lot of weapons Sato saw. And the governor knew something was up when Sapphire was a distraction. Having said all of that, the governor knew that, look, you're a young man. We know where this goes. Do you know how what happens when you have that kind of power? You know what they say, with great power comes great responsibility type vibe. You know what happened if you touch that sword? You're going to bear that power of the Ring King desire. Which brings us to the element of light, because the Ring King and the element of light have this control. You've got to think about it. The Ring King and the element of light are the strongest bond compared to the Ring King, the element of wind, fire, earth, and water. Because light is the strongest element out of all the elements. The element of light is the strongest because the light shatters the darkness in you. It shatters the darkness. It shatters the darkness that you need the element of light. Yeah, you need the element of light for this matter. And what's crazy about this is that he using Hime's father's sword. He using his father's sword. I like that. You know, it's kind of funny because Hime is using her mother's staff, and Sato is using Hime's father's sword. There's a connection going on, guys. A huge connection. Like there's something going on now. Everything knowledgeable. The only thing Sato's training was he got the sword, but he don't know how to use a sword. I mean, the only time we saw him use a sword when he fought Grana. But with that sword, he's gonna have to do a lot of training with that sword. Not only that, how to use the ring more efficiently now. Now he knows what to do and being knowledgeable about the ring and the sword. He's gonna train with Mars to use the sword wisely because he got a sword too. Now, forget Sato. Let's talk about Hime, the element of light. 7 episodes. I've been waiting for this. The poster showed it. The opening shows it. Her darkness has arrived. Her darkness has freaking arrived. Her corruption of evil. Like evil. Like the evilness has come to play. You see, she was talking she was talking to a woman in blonde hair, and Marion it's crazy because Marion said the exact same thing I said last week. I'm like, wait a minute. How you just talk to this woman and you just got your like magic just like off the wall? Like, See, something's not right. Even Morion, no, wait, something's fishy because throughout these episodes, her light magic has been like a shrimp. It has not been getting better and better. Like, it ain't that strong. It wasn't like over 9,000 power. It was just like, thank you. But now in this week and this last week and this week, her light magic just come blasting like a firework. Like, how was it even boring? How was that even possible? So Morion had to figure out what. And as she saw Hime, she's talking to an abyss. She's talking to an abyss. The dark abyss. And they have this conversation, but this is where Hime darkness comes in play because, like I said, you know how they said you got skeletons in your closet? Everyone has a dark side. This is your definition of a dark side. This is your definition of a dark side. Hime was telling the dark abyss about her affection for Sato. Now, we all know this is a harem anime as well. And you gotta understand, Sato is the run-of-the-mill, you gotta remember, when you're the first girl and you're with Sato, you do realize other girls are gonna be latched on Sato. And you gotta know, when you're the first girl, you're gonna get jealous. That happens in harem. How many harem animes you watch where there's one girl, and then when another girl comes into the harem, that first girl gets jealous? That happens a lot. So her negativity of, oh, Sato's not gonna be with me, boo hoo hoo. Sato's not gonna be with me. Sato has feelings for the other four. He probably not have feelings for me. And because of that, all that negativity, it lingers her into the darkness. Now, and I gotta be honest, her transformation is spot on. It's like, this is the mama version of Hime. Like, Mama Hime dark version. Her like dark Sailor Moon vibe. I mean, that's some dark Sailor Moon transformation going on. The darkness consumes her. It's like a heartless form. So much so that it was so good that it transformed to like some kind of freaking Skull Tower vibe. What we know is now she wants sex. You could tell just by the lust in her body. She really wanted that smash. She wanted to smash Sato. That darkness telling her to smash, smash, smash. Now when Sato and the others arrive, this is Sato's last ditch effort. Sato, let me tell you something. Listen to the dark side of Hime. Do what you can. Use your sword, quote unquote, to take away the darkness, if you can, by the way. I know I'm going off the line, but like I said, Sato better get his shit together with the darkness that Hime has. And I'm telling you right now, Sato better use his ring and his sword to fight the darkness out of Hime. Let's hope that works. But overall, though, I do like this episode. I mean, the plot of this, the progression of this, the plot of all this is getting to that rise of their development, and I love it. So I can't wait for next week's episode of it, and I'm sure you will.